We're going to look now at how we might change the range of motion in the fin swimming stroke. And we're doing this to push the range of motion closer to the end ranges so we can see if there's some limitation in performance that might be caused by some issue there. So first of all, we're going to look in the sagittal plane, and I'm going to use this TRX over this frame here just to hold my hands in the streamlined position. So first of all, I'm going to go into lumbar flex position. Then I'm going to go the other way and create more extension. Now if I think there might be some imbalance between left and right, I can put a split stance in those, and then using the hips, then that will change the amount of extension and flexion on one side compared to the other. I can then go to the frontal plane, and I can put a bit of lateral flexion into the lumbar area and do the stroke again. So it's important to make sure that you anchor the foot directly underneath the hands, so you're looking at both sides in a symmetrical way. I'm going to go into a sideways lunge, not a very deep one, just enough to put my lumbar area into lateral flexion on the right side here. Then we can do the other side. And last of all, we're going to look in the transverse plane. And when we're fin swimming, the only time you really get a movement in the transverse plane is when you're likely to turn, or if you need to do a course correction. So we're going to use a top driver for that. And for that, I'm going to change the orientation of the TRX. When it comes to looking at the transverse plane, I'm going to use a top driver for that. Obviously, fin swimming, my feet are in the fin. And when you come to do a turn or something like that, the driver is always from the top in fin swimming, still keeping the stroke motion from the hips. So I've changed the orientation of the TRX here by putting my arms offset like this. I've introduced a rotation in the upper body. I'm going to use that to change the range of motion in my lumbar area. And the lumbar spine doesn't rotate very much, only about 5 degrees. So we don't need very much twist here. And again, and checking the other side. So we've done a range. We've done modification to the basic function there, introducing slightly more flexion, slightly more extension, lateral flexion, and a movement also in the transverse plane.